All right, today we're tackling just one question, but it's a big one, a really big one. It's the kind of question that makes you rethink, well, everything.
So I want you to join me on this. Let's just, for a moment, forget everything we know about how reality is supposed to work, because we're about to dive into a thought experiment that flips the whole thing upside down. Okay, so our first section is the perplexing question. And really, to get a handle on just how weird this gets, we have to start by appreciating the true scale of what we're even asking here.
So here it is. What if the fundamental direction of reality just flipped? And I'm not talking about hitting rewind on a movie. No. We're imagining a universe where the entire relationship between cause and effect, the very fabric of reality, is running backwards.
So that leads us to our next part, an upside-down world. What would it actually look like? How would it feel to live in a place where this has happened?
Okay, just try to picture this. You see smoke hanging in the air, but instead of spreading out, it starts to gather itself. It swirls together, forming a perfect column, and then, whoosh, it funnels right back into a fire. The effect, the smoke, happens before its cause. That's just how things work now.
And this bizarre logic applies to, well, everything. Imagine a whole glass sitting on a table. Suddenly it shatters itself into pieces, and then those pieces fly upwards, reassembling themselves perfectly in your hand. You didn't drop it, you undropped it. The end of the event is actually its beginning. It's completely backwards.
So what we're talking about is a total flip of causality, right? Normally it's cause, then effect. In a reversed world, it's effect, then cause. The result happens first, which then triggers the action that led to it. It's a real head-scratcher.
Okay, so if the outside world is running in reverse, what in the world is going on inside our heads? That's what we're getting into next, the mind and time.
You know, we think of memory pretty simply, right? It's how our brain stores and remembers stuff that's already happened. It's our personal history book. But hold on, in a reverse world, what do you even remember? I mean, what is the past? This is where things get really, really weird and personal.
So, do you forget the future as it happens, only to remember the past that is yet to come? Think about that. You would essentially have memories of the future, but as you live backwards into that future, you'd be forgetting it. You'd know who wins a race before it starts, but by the time you get to the starting line, you'd have no memory of it at all. You'd be forgetting your life as you live.
And socially, I mean, wow. Every single conversation you have would start with goodbye. Your relationships would all begin at the end. How could you ever build a connection with someone based on shared experiences if you're actively unexperiencing them together?
So, let's zoom out. We've talked about the physical world, we've talked about our minds. What does this all mean for, well, the meaning of everything? That brings us to the meaning of the arrow.
So physicists have a name for this one-way direction of time. They call it the arrow of time. And it's not just some philosophical concept, it's linked to something called entropy. Basically, entropy is just the universe's tendency to get more and more disordered. Think about it. An egg can scramble, but you can't unscramble it. Your coffee cools down, it doesn't heat up on its own. Everything moves from order to chaos. That's the arrow. And here's the kicker. Almost everything that gives our lives meaning depends on time moving forward. Growing up, learning from your mistakes, making progress, all of that requires a past. The idea of consequences, the hope you have for the future, it's all tied to this forward direction. Take that away, and what's left? Which really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? Without a forward arrow, does purpose even have a direction? If everything you do is just the undoing of something that already happened, what's the point of any of it?
And I'll leave you with this final thought, and it's a real brain twister. What if everything reversed? Not just the world, but our minds, our memories, the way our brains work. Would we even notice? To us, living inside that backwards reality, it might feel completely normal. Which kind of makes you wonder, right? Is the way we see time the only way it flows?